Hey everybody, Jason Sherman here. In today's episode of Zero to CEO, I have with me co-founder and CEO of Dubb, Ruben Dua. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Awesome. And we're going to talk about how to leverage video to grow your sales by 300%. And I've seen like all sorts of stats online, like, you know, the history of television is uploaded to YouTube every hour or something like that. It's crazy. The amount of videos, right? It's just mind-boggling to think when you think about it, right? The entire history of television. So tell me about a little bit about why you think video is the way to go to get sales going, as opposed to like cold emails or cold calls or social media or whatnot. Like, what's so special about video?
Well, let's unpack the biggest problem, the elephant in the room, which is trust. Okay. When was the last time we responded to a cold SMS message or picked up the phone from a cold caller, a dial, and just said, "Hey, I'd love to have a conversation with you. What are you selling?" When was the last time we responded to a super cold email and said, "Hey, thank you so much for this offer. I never receive offers like this. You know, I'd love to talk. Here's my calendar. Here's my cell phone and my credit card while we're at it."
Right.
And those LinkedIn messages. You know, when was the last time you saw?
Oh man, never.
A LinkedIn message where you were like, "Wow, I'm so happy to hear from you. This is amazing. Let's talk." I never get messages like this. Why are we ignoring all these messages, right? Why is it just noise to us now? The noise to signal ratio is the problem that we all need to solve. And the root issue, the virus, is trust. We don't trust strangers, right? In the olden days, we were taught stranger danger. Okay.
Right.
And then there was an era where we said, you know what, let's go explore and let's go talk to people and let's go network and let's go learn and, you know, buy timeshares and just go travel and let salespeople in our homes and give them chocolate chip cookies.
Hop in somebody's car, right? Ubers.
Yeah. You know, let's jump in an Uber with a stranger. You know, it opened up, the world opened up to us. Right. But now we're back at the place where, you know, we have our guards back up. Now we've realized that with technology, we can trust certain things. We can get into an Uber. We can have someone deliver food to us as long as the sticker is on top of the bag and we know no one tampered with it. But at the same time, when it comes to sales, which is I think why we're in this room right now, are we trusting the salespeople? And as salespeople, are we being trusted? Okay. The answer is a big, fat, resounding no. And that's okay. That is the opportunity. The fact that we as sales professionals, we as communicators, we as leaders, we as people that want to have influence and make an impact on people, the second that we realize that people won't trust us before they know us, it actually liberates us. It removes this victim mentality. It removes this, the leads are crappy. You know, that person was a jerk. That person must be having a bad day. You know, blaming other people. It liberates us to take self-accountability and to open up our minds and our hearts and our souls to realize this simple fact. We need to solve the trust problem. So to answer your question,
how do you do that?
Here's the answer. The answer is video. Okay. And the reason why video is the best absolute medium to be able to do this is because when someone's of us, they build a parasocial relationship to us. For anyone that's watching, where you feel like you know me. Maybe you see me on another podcast. Maybe you've never seen me before. The point is that same interaction that we get when we meet someone at a Starbucks or when we meet someone out in the wild, and we actually build that trust factor where we can make eye contact, is the same thing that happens in an asynchronous video. So my final statement is, if you want to solve the trust problem, and if you're in sales, send video messages to your prospects because they will know you, they will like you, and they will trust you. And the chance of them doing work with you is dramatically higher. 300% might be an understatement, in fact.
So I would cut in and say, you know, I know a lot of people who own businesses who they may be a bit on the shy side, right? And they're not really kind of that front-facing person where they're more technical or they're more detail-oriented. Maybe they're really good at sewing the shirts, but they're not good at selling the shirts. What do you say to those people who don't really feel comfortable shooting a video because it's just not who they are? I've faced this before with people, so that's why I'm asking.
Well, I am so qualified to answer this question because I used to be one of those types of people. I used to be camera shy. I used to be terrified of being on video. I used to be terrified, mortified to go on a stage. I suffered from all those problems. And I realized that the problem was not was not anything external. It was all in my mind. It was insecurities. It was trauma. It was things that I had heard. You stutter too much. You move your hands too much. You don't make good eye contact. You pace around the room and you have this nervous energy. You crack your knuckles. There's something about you that I don't like when you're on a stage or you're on a video. I used to hear those things. And I realized that the reason why I was doing those things, which were legitimate, was because I wasn't practicing. I would wait until I had an opportunity to get on a stage, which was basically never, because I never wanted it. And when I finally did do it, I'd be mortified and I would be anxious and I'd be nervous and I would stutter and crack my knuckles and pace around the room like an idiot, right? When I started to practice and when I started to realize that nobody is comfortable being on video, you mentioned that we can upload all of the videos of TV within, what was it, an hour a day?
I think every hour on YouTube is
every hour
they're uploading, like, yeah, it's insane.
Guess what? Video started a little over 100 years ago.
Right.
Okay. Human beings have been around for 100,000 years.
Right.
Maybe more, arguably. Maybe more, right? Yeah. And what's interesting about this is that no person is born with this idea of being comfortable on video. It does not exist. There is no DNA. There's no DNA strand for that. It does not exist. The people that are comfortable on video, like I am finally, are the people that actually got in touch with their trauma, heard the voices in their head, realized that they were all bogus, okay, and realized that they need to practice. They need to just put in the reps, be on video podcast like yours, be on YouTube videos, get on stages, like find opportunities, find platforms so that you can finally get over that hurdle, build the confidence, and then just through repetition, have it just be second nature. That they call it the wu-wei state. Wu-wei state means the act of non-doing or inactive action, which means when someone asks me to be on video, I don't care too much. I like my hair look a little funny right now. I just noticed that. I just don't care. It doesn't matter because as long as my message is there and I'm helping people and I'm on my purpose, I don't really care what I look like or I sound like because all I care about is helping other people, frankly.
So yeah, I mean, and I noticed another thing. I mean, I run a startup that's 100% video based, and I'm facing this challenge of getting people to be comfortable in front of a camera. It's kind of our whole entire purpose.
Yeah.
And when you look at like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and a lot of other video oriented sites, you'll notice it's a very, very small percentage of creators. People is maybe 1% or 2% of people on these platforms. You hear they have, 5 billion users, right? But how many of those are posting videos? It might be like 50 million. And the other, 4.5 billion are just viewers, people that are just consuming the content. So there is a huge disconnect between that. And maybe that's another reason why people don't realize how difficult it is to get people in front of video. But moving past that challenge, once you overcome your fear, right? What are like the top 3 strategies to sell your product or your service using video?
Okay, great. By the way, that was a really good point. I wanted to just reference that real quick. If you think about the social networks, any of them that are video driven, which is TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube,
Snapchat,
Twitter, a little bit. What's that?
Snapchat does a lot of video
Snapchat, ads. All of those ones. It's about a 1% creation rate. And the rest is consumption rate. So 1% of the people are actually creating the content, and 99% of them are on the sidelines watching.
Yeah, it's insane. Okay?
Just give or take. And if you think about that for a second, the reason why when you log into TikTok, and there are so many templates and so many filters and so many ways to reshare a video and to green screen a video and to just repurpose something, is because they're trying to get all of us to be creators, to be video creators, because they need more content.
Correct.
If these platforms don't have more content, frankly, they're not going to have enough content to be able to put advertisements up, which means they don't make money, which means they go out of business.
Right.
So they are heavily dependent on us. So just think about it. If you're in the 99% club of not creating videos, you're not alone. It's okay. It's just jump to the other side through repetition. So I just wanted to give that public service announcement. But to answer your question about the most effective methods to communicate with video for sales specifically, here's what I've learned. And this comes from probably 10 years of indirect experience and 5 years of direct experience being the CEO of a software platform that enables salespeople to communicate with video. That's Dubb.com. And here are my best tips. Number one is that the thing that we need to focus on the most is how can we produce and provide value to our ideal client profile so that they can solve the problems that they're trying to solve. And most importantly, to do it in a visual method. If we just tell people that we have a solution, or if we explain the solution to them, the speed at which that's happening is a micro fraction of what would happen if we were visual in our nature. In fact, you can Google this statistic. It's widely referenced that our minds process visual information 60,000 times faster than text. That's 60,000.
Right.
Okay. If you think about that, it makes total sense. If I'm reading text like an instruction manual, it's not going to make sense. I might have to read that 100 times to actually get it. But if I'm watching a video, or if I have diagrams like those great ones that Lego makes, where I watch my 9-year-old kid make Legos so fast, the visuals is what makes sense. So if we now enable
that's a very compelling statistic.
It's a very compelling statistic, and I encourage people to source that because I've seen it in multiple places. There was a study done actually by a neurological institute that did this, and it's very interesting.
The question I know before you continue, I mean, I really want to kind of harp on this because this is a big challenge. Yes. I hear this all the time.
Yes.
How do you get those 99 percenters to convert to the 1%?
And that was my number two, which is that when we think of video, we think of a face being in front of a webcam. That's what we think of most of the time. Okay. That's not actually what video has to be anymore. Okay, that's just a fraction of what video is. When I said visual communication, I didn't actually mean looking at my face, because how visual is this? I'm just a talking avatar. There's ones and zeros that are moving. My lips, my eyes are moving, my hands. It's not very valuable, right? You can trust me. You can look into my eyes and see that I'm a real person and that this is a real situation.
Right.
However, I'm not actually educating you in a visual way.
Right.
So this is why we built the Dubb desktop app, the Dubb Chrome extension, and the Dubb website, all of which actually allow you to record videos of your screen. Okay. If you're on your phone, you can record videos from your screen, or you can flip your camera and show what you're seeing on the outside. So now all of a sudden, if we record our screen, anything that we're looking at that provides value, that gets people to trust us, that conveys to them that we can help solve their problems, all of a sudden they can connect the dots and say, that is the solution that I'm looking for. So let's think about this for a second. There's diagrams, there's before and after pictures, there's blueprints, there's testimonials, there's reviews, there's dashboards, there's data, there's case studies, there's statistics.
Tons of stuff.
The sky is the limit in terms of what we can capture visually to educate people, provide value, and then build that trust.
It's a lot to take in. And I mean, so this sounds almost like a presentation tool in a way. And is that part of the sales process, is just presenting your product or your service in a way that is more visual? And what's different about it than, say, just using Snagit or whatever screen recording software, putting it on YouTube and saying, here, watch this video?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. So the funny thing is that behind this Zoom window, I have the Dubb dashboard, and I'm so curious to see if I could share my screen, because I would love to just practice what I preach and be visual. But I'll just first start with a sort of an explanation of it. Is that okay?
Yeah, because we're at the end here, so we have to wrap things up.
Okay, so let's just give a quick visual explanation of what this looks like, okay?
All right.
So if you go, the thing about using a Snagit tool or a Loom tool or something like this is that that's simply going to allow you to create a video and then send that video to someone. Maybe there's a landing page on it, maybe there's not. Maybe it's an attachment, or maybe it's a URL. Whatever the case may be, the key is having the integration into your CRM. So if you notice, anytime that I create a video, for example, this morning, I created a video for someone on my team. Her name is Rena. In this video, what it allows me to do is, once I upload the video through the Dubb mobile app, through the Dubb Chrome extension, it can be in my screen, it can be on my face, it allows me to add calls to action, okay? And by adding calls to action, now I can get conversions, because getting someone to watch your video is one thing. Getting someone to take action after they watch your video, that's where the magic happens. So if you notice on this video page right here, you'll notice that right below the video that I recorded in just a couple of seconds from my home, you'll notice a playlist of additional videos. So these are my testimonials. This is the demo of the platform. You'll notice calls to action. You'll notice the ability to book a time in my calendar, to respond with video, to learn more, which takes us to the website. You can connect with me on social channels. Here's the actual calendar integration where you can book a time in my calendar. So the next time
it
you ask
has
yourself,
everything for you right there. Yeah,
it's got everything for you. So the thing that you want to do is you want to build, we call these sandwich videos. You got to initially have a personalized video to someone where they get to know you. That solves the trust thing. The second thing is you want to have another video, which can be a screen video, right? This is testimonial videos of people sharing specific testimonials and how they use our platform. A lot of really good success stories in here, which is all social proof. And then the final video that we always include is this is the platform. This is our software platform. So everything that we're doing here is building trust, providing value, being visual, and putting social proof around the entire thing. Why? Because ultimately we want to get the conversion. That's why we're here.
Perfect.
Use video, build trust, get more conversions.
And where can people find this online? Is it dubb.com, dubb.com?
Dubb.com. Check us out, 2Bs. Thank you so much for the opportunity. This means the world to me, Jason. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Great platform. Hopefully you guys try it. dubb.com. Thanks, Ruben. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.